What's good? What's good? Welcome back to Invest and Trade with Jax. We're going to quickly go over Bitcoin. We're sitting at 40.9K. We're up about 1.5 on the day. We're seeing a market cap of 774 billion. 24-hour volume 27.96 billion. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to crypto.com, you can sign up to the world's fastest growing crypto app. Grab one of the incredible Visa cards for cashback in crypto, free Spotify, Netflix, Prime, travel incentives. Depending on the level of card that you have, $25 just for signing up through my referral. So I'm sure you've heard the news already. The Fed raised interest rates by 25 basis points. We've seen a little bit of push up in the market here. So some things to pay attention to, in my opinion. Of course, the 55 EMA on the daily, where we're currently hitting resistance, which is coming in at about 41K. Also the 100-day moving average, this white line, you can see we broke above it. We fell back to it as support, and we saw a major breakout back to the upside. And you can see right here, that's exactly where we hit resistance. So I do think that could act as resistance once again. Currently coming in at about 42.7K. And if we pop over to the 4-hour chart, I talked about 40.6K, the golden ratio. And if we break back above it and hold it as support, higher likelihood you're coming back up to where you started. Let me just move this line up here so it's not so distracting, which is coming in at about 42.5K. We have a nice little bull flag pattern. We are trending towards overbought. We'll quickly pop open the 1 hour as well. However, if we were to break out to the upside, we consolidate, we break out, we measure our flagpole, take it to your point of breakout, and it would take you up past the previous high and trending towards the 1.272, coming in at about 44.1K. Let's look at the 1 hour quickly, guys. So we're here on the 1 hour time frame. We do have a little bit of a bearish divergence, higher highs creating lower highs. Money is flowing out, so we could see some pullback here. The bullish scenarios, we simply see consolidation and then continue to push up. But if we do pull back, I will drop in some levels of support. We have 40,036, see support here, previous resistance. That could act as support once again. And this level right here, we have a little bit of support here, resistance at about 39.4. So if this bearish divergence plays out, we do see some pullback. Hopefully we see a nice bounce off those levels of support. We have broken out of this diamond bottom pattern, so your technical target is about 44.6K, but crucial we get back above the EMAs here on the daily. If we look at the weekly time frame, I've been talking about the bullish indicators. The fact that the money flow is all the way down to the bottom section. Our CM Williams highlighter flashed green, which has been very accurate for calling the bottoms since the bear market of 2017 going into 2018. We flashed green once again, and it looks like we're coming up to test those weekly EMAs once again. Crucial that we get back above them. Looks like we're putting in a beautiful double bottom pattern here on the weekly time frame. You can see we created a bottom, create a second bottom. So if we can come up and break this neckline, I'm just going to take it from this kind of structural support here, and you can also see that ascending triangle here on the weekly. So if you're seeing it as a double bottom here, take it from the bottom up to the top, take it to your point of breakout. You can see a massive breakout all the way up to 53K. But the major level that we continue to get rejected by is the EMAs on the weekly, and they're currently coming in between about 42.3 and 43.6. So if we are going to see a reversal in the trend, we do need to get back above those weekly EMAs, because if we get rejected by the end of this week once again, and we start to roll, we're gonna have the bearish cross, and that's quite negative for our friend Bitcoin. But we are still expecting that third demand wave, that fifth impulsive wave from our Elliott wave theory with a massive alt season, unless we just go through a dead cat bounce scenario, create that bearish structure, and see a prolonged bear market. So if we look at the DXY, exactly what we wanted to happen has happened here. We've finally broken down. I talked about us finding support on the ascending trend line from this rising wedge. And I said we either see a bounce or we break down into the pattern, and we did see that bounce, and now we've created a double top, and finally we've broken down back into our rising wedge pattern, which is exactly what we want to see, because as the DXY falls, the price of Bitcoin rises. So if we measure this double top pattern, could take the DXY all the way back down to this trend line of support from this rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. So hopefully the DXY comes down, breaks down out of this rising wedge, and continues to sell off as we see the price of Bitcoin pump up here. However, we have trended towards oversold, so we could definitely see a bounce for the DXY, just as we did here. We're oversold bounce right here as well, oversold bounce. So if we do bounce, what we want to see is the DXY comes up for a retest, gets rejected, and sees continuation. Because if it simply breaks back through and holds as support and continues to push up, that's negative for our friend Bitcoin. If we look at the Bitcoin short positions, continuing to fall out, but I would expect the shorts to begin to start to pick up once again, just as they did right here. They came down, they're quite oversold, consolidation, they picked up once again. So you can see we've come down, we're quite oversold, consolidation. So I would expect the short positions to begin to pick up again in the coming week, going into next week as well. We look at the Bitcoin long, steady increase. We have that bearish divergence. As I mentioned, I do think a drop in the long positions will come, and it may come at that 44K level. If we do push all the way up to about 44,000, what we're going to see here, let me pop open this chart, is a bull trap. We push up to 44, maybe a little bit higher, everybody goes long, and the whales drop the price and liquidate all the long positions. So do keep an eye on that as well. The bullish scenario, we get back above the EMAs, we break it, and we head up to 57.1. But in the short term, we have to watch the hourly time frame. We do have that bearish divergence. If we see a little bit of pullback here, target 40.3K, 39.4K. And what the bulls want to see is we hold the golden ratio as support, and gives you a higher likelihood you come back up to where you started, 42.5K, break out of this bull flag pattern, which is clear on the 4-hour chart. As you can see here, we have this bull flag, and could push you back above this previous level of resistance and head up to the 1.272 at 44.1, the 1.618 at 45.9K. Do watch this bearish divergence closely. Is early sign of some pullback, which would be healthy for Bitcoin. And if that does happen, hopefully we see a bounce off one of these levels of support. Because if we don't, and we simply break down and break all these levels of support, that's when you can come all the way back down to this swing low at about 37.6K, and we have a ton of support at about 37.2. But it is bullish that we are back above the golden ratio, but we need to hold it if we are going to see continuation to the upside. That's it for Bitcoin. Big shout out to the Discord. Let me quickly open it up. Over 1,800 members posting chart patterns, talking all things crypto. We have the DCA trade strategy fully explained, the DCA charts for the live trades on the channel, and buy and take profit zones if you are looking to dollar cost average into your positions based off support, resistance, Fibonacci for many altcoins. If you want to trade with me, sign up to Bybit, and I will see you in the next video. All right, much love. Take care.